Hello friends and welcome once again in e-classroom of Ahmednagar College Junior Wing. Since last couple of the lectures we are studying accounts of not-for-profit concern. In that we have studied that not-for-profit concerns are those concerns which are working not for profit but to serve the society at large. Hence, they prepare some uh, uh, statements and accounts such as receipts and payment account, income and expenditure account, and a statement balance sheet. So, in last lecture, we have studied one example where we have uh, solved one example of income and expenditure account. So, today we are going to study one example where we have given best junior college financial position balance sheet as on 1st April 2019 and receipt and payment account for the year ended 31st March 2020. From this information we have to prepare income and expenditure account and balance sheet. So let us see what is this example about. This example is of best junior college where liability side and asset side. First let us see liability side. Capital fund is given 6,80,000, entrance fees 20,000, then assets are given cash in hand, cash at bank, laboratory, building, furniture, books, tuition fees receivable. Also receipt and payment account is given for the year ended 31st March 2020. In that balance is given cash balance and bank balance. Tuition fees are given for 2 years 18-19 and 19-20. Also fine collected, admission fees, term fees, donations for library, interest on bank deposit and government grants. On payment side, some payments are given such as salaries to teachers, salaries to office staff, books, printing and stationery, annual gathering expenses, office rent, repairs, sport expenses, furniture, and also at last closing balance is given of cash rupees 8,000 and bank rupees 12,000. Also additional information is given, we can also call it as adjustment. Number 1, tuition fees are outstanding for current year rupees 5,000, salary to teacher is outstanding rupees 15,000, rent paid in advance rupees 3,000, depreciate books at the rate of 15% per annum and furniture at the rate of 10% per annum. From all this information, from balance sheet, from receipt and payment account and from additional information, we are required to prepare income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st March 2020 and balance sheet as on that date. Friends, before starting our example, I want to tell you that first you can see here balance sheet is given and receipt and payments account is given. Balance sheet is given for the period 1920. That means this balance sheet is given as on 1st April 2019. That means it is opening balance of balance sheet for our current year. So we have to compare, we have to take all these opening balances while we prepare balance sheet for the year 1920. Also we have to consider receipt and payments account whether any asset is added, additional asset is purchased, or whether any payment is outstanding for this current year, or whether any expenses is paid in advance, or same like income, whether it is pre-received or whether it is due. So let us start our example. Friends, you can take any side. First you can take asset side or you can take any liability side. You can see cash in hand, it is an asset, so we cannot take it in income and expenditure account. First we will go by sequence. First we will solve income and expenditure account and then we will solve balance sheet. As we don't have a board here, so we can see it on the screen. So Let us see first cash in hand. It is an asset. Cash at bank, it is an asset. Laboratory, building, furniture, books and tuition fees, all these are assets. But first we are going to see income and expenditure account. So let us start with receipt and payment account. Receipt and payment account, you can see, you can take any side, receipt side or payment side. First you can take any side. So if you take a payment side, it will be recorded on debit side of income and expenditure account, on expenditure side. So first you can take salaries to teachers. Before that you can mark all the adjustments such as tuition fees. You can mark down tuition fees, salary to teachers outstanding, rent paid in advance or depreciate, books and furnitures. Mark down all these heads so that we can know that when solving that example we can solve that example properly. So salary to teachers, you can take expenditure side first. To salary to teachers, there is an adjustment and that is why take it in inner column. 1,80,000 salary to teachers, 1,80,000. Let us see what is the adjustment. Adjustment is salary to teachers is outstanding rupees 15,000. Outstanding means it is not paid, it is due but not paid. So we can add it to salaries to teacher. Add outstanding salaries rupees 15,000. The total is on in outer column 1,95,000. Again second head, it is by salaries to office staff. So again to salaries to office staff, there is no adjustment, so you can take directly in outer column. Then by books purchase, as it is an asset, so we'll take it later on in balance sheet. Okay. Then by printing and stationery, you can write to printing and stationery. There is no adjustment, so take it in outer column. To printing and stationery rupees 5,000. Then to buy annual gathering expenses, again there is no adjustment, you can take it directly to annual gathering expenses rupees 10,000. Then by office rent, there is adjustment to office rent, so take it in inner column. To office rent rupees 16,000. Let us see what the adjustment is. Rent paid in advance is rupees 3,000. That means rent is paid in advance. It was not due, but still it was paid, so it must be deducted from office rent less prepaid rent rupees 3,000. 16,000 minus 3,000, 13,000 in outer column. Then by repairs, you can take two repairs, there is no adjustment, so rupees 15,000. Then by sports expenses, to sports expenses, again there is no adjustment, so rupees 5,000. Then by furniture, as furniture is an asset, so take it in balance sheet. And by balance carried down, cash and banks, these are also assets, so it will be not considered in income and expenditure account. So let us see receipt side. Again to balance brought down, cash and bank, it will be not considered in income and expenditure account. To tuition fees, it will be recorded on income side by tuition fees, but there is an adjustment. So let us see what is that adjustment. Tuition fees are outstanding for current year rupees 5,000. As tuition fees, it is an income, so it is not received, so it is receivable but not received, so we can add it to tuition fees, add outstanding tuition fees rupees 5,000, and total in outer column rupees 1,05,000. Then to fine collected, let me tell you about tuition fees, that 2 years tuition fee are given 2018-19 and 19-20, but we are considering, or we are preparing the account for the year 1920, that means for the year ended 31st March 20, that means 1920. So here only 1 lakh rupees we have considered, that means current year's tuition fee. Okay, then to fine collected, by fine collected rupees 2,000. Then to admission fees rupees 10,000, by admission fees rupees 10,000. Then to term fees, again if there is no adjustment we can directly write it in outer column. Then by term fees in income side rupees 7,000. To donation for libraries, will not take it in income side because it is donation for library and it will be go to the balance sheet. Then to interest on bank deposit, we can take it because it is revenue income, by interest on bank deposits rupees 5,000. Then to government grants, into bracket revenue, it is said that these government grants are revenue and hence we can take it into income and expenditure account to income side because it is revenue income. Okay, by government grants rupees 2 lakhs. After that we have to charge, first check out whether all the heads are considered here for preparation of income and expenditure account. After that we have to look after the adjustments. We have taken tuition fees, considered about tuition fees, salaries, rent paid, and one adjustment is remained, that is depreciation. So we have to debit it to income and expenditure account. Depreciate books at the rate of 15% per annum and furniture at the rate of 10% per annum. So, but first calculate depreciation on books. Okay, so take first opening balance of books. You can see here in balance sheet as on 1st April 2019, books costs rupees 22,000. That means book value of the books is rupees 22,000. Again, you can see the payment side where additional books are also purchased. You can see the third item, books purchased on 1st January 2020 of rupees 15,000. Here you must take one into you must consider that books of rupees 22,000, these books are used for entire year. So hence on 22,000 you must charge full depreciation, and on rupees 15,000, that means books purchased on 1st January 2020, you cannot charge full depreciation because it is purchased on 1st January. So our accounting year is 1st April 2019 to 31st March 2020. Hence January, February and March, only 3 months these books are used, and so only for depreciation only for 3 months will be charged here. You can prepare one working note as I have prepared here. Calculation of depreciation on books, 15% on 22,000, that is 3,300, 15% on rupees 15,000 as it is purchased on January, so only 3 months depreciation will be charged, rupees 3,563. So total depreciation will be 3,863. Again, same like furniture. We can see furniture, cost of furniture. First, opening balance of furniture is rupees 40,000, and also during the year furniture is purchased on 1st July 2019. That means additional furniture is there, but it is purchased on 1st July 2019. So you can count July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. That means 9 months this new furniture, additional furniture is used. So on rupees 40,000, you can see working note here. On 40,000, full depreciation is charged at the rate of 10%, that is 4,000, and on 50,000, that is additional furniture, only 9 months depreciation is charged, rupees 3,750. That means we got two depreciations here. Furniture total depreciation is 7,750 and books 3,860. You can see here that this depreciation is charged. Furniture rupees 7,750, books rupees 3,863. That means total depreciation is debited rupees 11,630. So once again check whether all the items are considered here. We have considered all the items, also we have considered all the adjustments, and hence let us see which side is more to whether to know whether we earn surplus or bears a deficit. So let us see which side is more. At prima facie I can see that income side is more than expenditure. So make a total of income side, that is rupees 3,29,000. Take it on debit side, that means expenditure side, 3,29,000, and deduct all the expenditure from that 3,29,000. That means income less expenditure. We will get a surplus of rupees 44,387. I again repeat that we get surplus of rupees 44,387. That means our income side is more than expenditure, and the balance, which is a difference, which is called as surplus. Okay, then let us proceed towards balance sheet. We can see balance sheet, liability side and asset side. So let us see again our example that balance sheet is given, opening balances are given here, all the opening balances are given. So you can take any side first. Let us take asset side first. So cash in hand, it is opening balance, so we have to take a closing balance, so we cannot take it cash in hand and cash at bank. Next, laboratory, rupees 15,000. You can take it on asset side, laboratory rupees 15,000. As there is no adjustment, we can directly take in outer column. Then building, rupees 6 lakhs. Again there is no adjustment for building, take it in outer column, rupees 6 lakhs. Furniture, rupees 40,000. But there is an adjustment to furniture, so take it in inner column, furniture rupees 40,000. So again furniture there is addition. Just now we have seen that furniture, additional furniture is purchased on July 2019, rupees 50,000. So you add that additional furniture purchase, rupees 50,000. Total in inner column rupees 90,000 less depreciation. Just now we have debited furniture depreciation rupees 7,750. So deduct it from total cost of furniture, and after that we'll get net amount, net balance, that is 82,250. Take it in outer column. Then Books rupees 22,000. Opening balance of books rupees 22,000. Again we have purchased it during the year of rupees, books purchase rupees 15,000 in January. So you can add it in books, add purchases, or you can say add addition rupees 15,000. Total will be 37,000. Also you have to deduct depreciation from total amount. Depreciation is rupees 3,863 and the total is in outer column rupees 33,137. Again books, we have taken tuition fees receivable rupees 10,000. Here friends, let us see opening balance of tuition fees receivables as on 1st April 2019. It was 10,000, but you can see during the year receipts and payments, you can see that rupees 8,000 for the same year 18-19, 8,000 that receivable is recovered. That means we received rupees 8,000. That means total tuition fees receivable now is only rupees 2,000 for the year 18-19, and 19-20 also there is receivable tuition fees. It is rupees 5,000. So you can take to asset side tuition fees receivable for the year 18-19 2,000 and for the year 19-20 5,000, and total in outer column it is 7,000. Again we considered one adjustment, that rent paid in advance rupees 3,000. So it can be considered and we'll show it in on asset side, prepaid rent rupees 3,000. And at last we can take closing balances of cash and bank. We can see here on payment side cash balance 8,000 and bank balance 12,000. We can take it on asset side, cash in hand rupees 8,000 and cash at bank rupees 12,000. So let's come to liability side. Capital fund rupees 6,80,000. Take it on liability side, capital fund 6,80,000, but in inner column because we have to add surplus in it, rupees 6,80,000. Add surplus rupees 44,387 and take total in outer column rupees 7,24,300. So entrance fees rupees 20,000. We can see here entrance fees on balance sheet liability side 20,000. We can take it as it is, rupees 20,000. Then let us see receipt side, donation for libraries. There is a donation for libraries we can consider here because it is for fund given provided rupees 1,000. Also in adjustment, salary is outstanding to teachers rupees 15,000. We can show it to liability side, outstanding salary of teachers rupees 15,000. So let us see whether all items are considered and also adjustments are considered. We can check once again capital fund, entrance fees and asset side, all the items are considered. Again all the items of receipt sides are considered, payment sides are considered. So once let us see that all the items are considered here, liability side and asset side. So take a total of asset side and liability side so that we can check that all the items are properly considered and the account is correct. If it gets tallied, then we can say that our accounts are perfect or correct. So we can take a total of liability first. It is 7,60,387, and also we can take a total of asset side, that is 7,60,387. The total is tallied of liability side and asset side. So that means our balance sheet is correct, our accounts are correct, income and expenditure account is correct. So friends, मित्रांनो, आपण इथे एक एक्झाम्पल पाहिलं आहे बेस्ट ज्युनियर कॉलेजचं. त्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला 1 एप्रिल 2019 एक बॅलन्स शीट दिलेला आहे, त्याचबरोबर रिसीट अँड पेमेंट अकाउंट दिलेला आहे. आपल्याला इन्कम अँड एक्सपेंडिचर अकाउंट आणि बॅलन्स शीट तयार करायचं आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये आपण बॅलन्स शीट ही आणि रिसीट आणि पेमेंट ही दोन्हीही कन्सिडर करायचे आहेत आणि त्याचबरोबर आपल्याला इन्कम एक्सपेंडिचर अकाउंट आणि बॅलन्स शीट तयार करायचं आहे. आताच आपण पाहिलं, आपण त्याच्यामध्ये ॲडजस्टमेंटसुद्धा कन्सिडर केलेल्या आहे. आता इथं आपलं बोर्ड नसल्यामुळे आपण PPTवर दाखवलेलं आहे, तरी you can see all these adjustments properly and solve more and more examples. तुमचं जे होमवर्क आहे, I will give it on your group some examples. You solve those examples and you also post it on the group. I will check it. If you have any query or any problems, you can ask me on groups. Okay, till then, bye and thank you very much.